Sean, okay, where did things change for you as far as just becoming immersed in the Oilers world and the Gretzky world from a memorabilia standpoint? And we got lots to talk about. I really want to talk about your family and being a coach, and want to talk about your son Phoenix and stuff. But where did it start with kind of turning the corner as far as getting real serious with both the Oilers and getting to know Wayne Gretzky?
Well, I'll just go back to the fact that I got to follow them in the '80s and whatnot, and through following them, I created this great following of Gretzky because how could you not love what he was doing to hockey and to the record books and things like that, and how the game was growing around him. So I gained a lot of respect for him as a player and things through the '80s, and then through the '90s, I would say I discovered autograph collecting, and I became quite the autograph collector through the '90s. And through that, collecting, at least in the sports memorabilia for me, was very evolutionary. I started off with autographs, and then I would make discoveries in the collecting world of the things you could do or collect and whatnot. And I'd go down these rabbit holes and whatnot. And then one day I was in Edmonton, um, in the late '90s, I would say sometime. And I had some time to kill, and I was walking around, and I saw a pawn shop, and I went in it just because I had time. And I was stood up at the counter talking to the owner, and we were just shooting the pie about anything. And I saw some hockey sticks standing up behind the counter in the corner, and I said, "What's with the hockey sticks?" And he goes, "Oh, those are NHL player sticks." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You mean like players actually played with those sticks?" And he goes, "Yeah, they're game used sticks." And that was my introduction to there's a game used world out there. So I said, "Tell me more."
How old were
So
you
he
there,
reached
Sean?
in.
How old were you?
I was a young adult in the '90s. I was born in
Okay.
'67. Um, and, he reached over and he grabbed a stick and he put it in my hands, and I'll never forget. It was Wayne Presley, I think is a Chicago Blackhawk stick, and his name was on the shaft. And I looked at him and I said, "So you're telling me Wayne Presley played with this stick in the NHL?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "How much is the stick?" And he says, "$20." And I said, "I'll take it." So off I went, proud as a peacock, with a game used Wayne Presley stick. And so my journey down the path of game used and game worn items began. And of course, I was an Oilers fan, so then I started to steer my collecting to the Oilers and whatnot. But it's a very game used and memorabilia and game worn items is a very expensive venture, or it can be. So, yep.
John, can I ask a quick question there? So, how old were you when you first had that hockey stick put in your hands that you paid $20
In my
for?
mid 20s.
And when you took that stick, do you remember like some of the dreams that probably came with, going home with that stick and then using it? Like that's such a special thing to have happen and
Totally. And
rare.
it was like a rush when he put the stick in my hands. I'll never like I'm envisioning it right now as I tell the story. He handed me the stick. My left hand was on the top of the stick and my right hand was down the shaft, and I'm looking at his name on it, and I'm saying, "So you're telling me, this guy Wayne Presley used this stick?" And it was like all of a sudden I was connected to the game at a level that I would have never otherwise expected to ever experience, because we're fans of the game. We watch on TV. If we're really fortunate, we get to go to a rink. But most people don't meet the players. They don't socialize with the players. They don't know what there's a game used memorabilia world. So this was like a connection.
Do you still have that stick, or did you sell it? And if you sold it, what did you
You know
sell
what?
it for?
I most likely gave it away because I gave away most of the stuff that I didn't keep over the early years anyway. But I don't have it, and I get asked that a lot. I wish I did.
Isn't it the
Um,
funny thing of stuff we should have collected when we were young, and all of us, right?